All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now I'm going to talk about Conor and Dustin again, and guess why? Because I actually have some interesting takes here, some things I've never talked about, some interesting things I've never talked about. And we're also going to talk about Chael Sonnen's channel, because Chael Sonnen's channel tends to be a great way to gauge what's going on behind the scenes, right? And I just talked about this on another video, and I'm not sure I'm going to post that one. So if I'm saying this for the second time, you've already heard it, I'm sorry, okay? There's not that much going on. Jeez. But anyway, so if you're looking to kind of figure out what's going on behind the scenes and you want to know what the UFC is thinking, you can watch Chael's channel and then see where he is like kind of, cultivating an argument where you're like, it sounds like you're trying to push everyone towards the direction that would favor the UFC, which is exactly what I would do in the event that I was working for the UFC or ESPN or whatever, right? You hear that, you guys? You hear that? That's exactly what I would do if I was in that situation. I'm just saying. But look, what he said in this case was he said, what if Dustin doesn't fight Charles, right? So, I have already talked about this extensively on the channel. That's not the point. What I'm going to talk about is whether or not Conor will actually take the Dustin fight, because I'm not sure about that, actually. But, so what Chael said was, what if Dustin doesn't want to fight Charles? What if Dustin just says, hey, I'll wait for Conor? What if he doesn't go for the gold? And he was, the tone of it was like push Dustin to take the Charles fight. It sounded like to me. But I was sitting there and I was thinking about it. I'm like, so if I'm for me personally, I already said on this channel, I did a long video about what I would do. I would go fight Charles. If I lose, I fight Conor. And if I win, I would relinquish the belt and call it a blood feud. And then, I'm fighting Conor. I'm relinquishing the belt specifically so I can fight Conor in a blood feud, or actually, in second thought, I would say, if the UFC won't give Conor an immediate title shot, I'll relinquish the belt. But I'm fighting Conor next 100%. That's a much better plan, actually. And I just thought of it right now on camera. You don't need to relinquish the belt. You just need to threaten to relinquish the belt so that you can give them an excuse to give Conor a title shot immediately. That's a much better play. Either way, you fight Charles, and then either way, you fight Conor next. You either relinquish the belt or you talk him in, whatever. So anyway, but if Conor is saying he still wants to fight Dustin, and Dustin is like, dude, I could actually just take I just made $11 million. Like, that's a lot of money, Obviously, you pay your taxes, pay everything else. You're still looking at an enormous amount of dough, and you're just like, geez, I could just kind of train light for 4 or 5 months and then get back into it, and I could just wait for Conor. This sounds like an amazing time to take a vacation. Let my body heal a little bit. I've been through some wars, Like, there's a lot of upside for Dustin to sit out and wait for Conor. But here's the thing. Are you sure Conor's going to take that fight? Like, are you sure? Are you positive Conor will take that fight? Because if I'm Conor, I'm not taking that fight. I don't think. I really don't. I don't think that's a smart play. Like, Conor has an extraordinary amount of leeway because of how big of a star he is, right? But ultimately, they're still in there fighting in a cage. He just lost to this guy twice. Now the second one was a fluky thing. Regardless of what you think about the fight, bottom line is he pulled for a guillotine in a way he's never done before. And as soon as he stood up, he stepped backwards and his ankle folded in half. Okay, like just common sense. Very, very likely he knew that his ankle was very compromised, and maybe is why he pulled for the guillotine. So up until the point that he pulled for the guillotine, that's basically what you have to go on, which is not very much, right? So, I also talked about how he actually didn't get hit with very many shots from the bottom. It's just whatever. That whole fight is irrelevant. My point is, there's not very much you can take from that fight other than he ended up losing again, right? But I'm sure in his mind it's a fluky thing, and I agree, it's a fluky thing. But nonetheless, do you want to go right back into that fight? I'm sure that he's got to be at least convinced that Dustin's the best lightweight in the world now. I am. So, I don't, why not just go get a tune-up fight? What does it matter for Conor? He can headline a show with no belt on the line anyway. It makes no difference. You know what I mean? So why headline against a person like that? You just go, literally fight any other person. Unless he's so stubborn. And he knows he's going to get the Dustin fight when he wants it. But why not go get a tune-up fight? Didn't it feel better when you went in and just ran through Cowboy? Doesn't that feel better? You know what I mean? Go get some confidence. That's what I would do. So if I'm Dustin and I'm even considering waiting out, I would better make sure that Conor's going to fight me when he comes back, because I wouldn't say that that's guaranteed at all. Do you guys think it's a guarantee? Conor's talking shit to every person on earth right now, keeping himself relevant. Smart. But has he said, like when Conor and Dustin just got into it the other day, did Conor say, I'll see you in 8 months, see you in 10 months? Did he say that? They talked back and forth about about their fights. Did Conor say, I'll see you in 8 months? He didn't, did he? Right? So what does that tell you? Does that sound like his mind's made up that he's going to fight him? Doesn't to me. So if Dustin's thinking about waiting out, he better make 100% sure that Conor's going to fight him, because Conor might not fight him. Anyway, short video. That's what I got. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell.